After the tragedy of 2023, Nigeria was promised governance, yet we continued to experience unrelenting, underhand politics going on within the country, within the regions, between the regions, and within the parties. A lot of water, as they say, has passed under the bridge. I'm here as a loyal party member. I'm here as a peacemaker, and I'm also here to reconcile divergent opinions. I'm very, very proud to say that I did attend meetings of a certain attempt for coalition in Nigeria. I have attended and I have listened to the coalition attempts, yet I still remain in Labour Party.
When Datti Baba's press conference with Abure hit the internet, many went to town claiming that he has abandoned P2B. Some even took it a bit further, claiming that Datti Baba is now contesting the 2027 presidential election under Labour Party, and that Abure and co have accepted to give him the nomination on a platter. Even some obedience joined in the fray, shouting, what is P2B doing? What is this? How come Datti Baba has abandoned him? Blah blah blah. What they fail to understand is that a two-time governor, a former presidential aspirant and a former vice presidential aspirant under the PDP is expected to understand Nigerian politics better than supporters. Some who haven't even contested for councillorship or chairmanship position in their local government areas or even governorship position, they are the ones advising a former presidential candidate on how to play politics. The question many should be asking is, what type of game is P2B playing? Yes, they call Tinubu a master strategist because he knows how to offer anyone irresistible offers. To him, he believes that everyone has a price. If you match the person's price, he will no longer be an obstacle. Many see this as the best way to approach politics in Nigeria, that's transactional politics. But they don't know that there are other ways to play politics and convince people to genuinely follow you without being transactional. Yes, P2B has one of his legs in the ADC, the coalition party. He has also said that he is still a member of Labour Party, which Datti Baba reiterated in this press conference. And also P2B said that there is another party. He spoke this through Dr. Yunus Atanko, the national coordinator of the Obedient Movement, that there is another party that will act as his joker, that he will use this party in case every other one fails in 2027. So what it means now is that he is interested, or he has links to three parties going into 2027. There's no way the three of them will fail. So this reconciliation move made by Datti Baba to Abure means that they are trying to reconcile. Whatever it will take, they will try to reconcile to make sure that Labour Party, which he actually belongs to at the moment, continues to be a viable platform for him in 2027. So having connections to three different parties will obviously put his adversaries into serious confusion. They wouldn't know which party to instigate crisis in order to target him, like they did in Labour Party and the PDP. So in a situation where we find ourselves right now, Tinubu administration and the APC, they are instigating crisis in the opposition parties to whittle down their effect, so that they will be focused on battling challenges and crises in their parties instead of preparing to challenge him in 2027. If he is truly popular like they always claim, why not allow a free and fair election? Why not prove to Nigerians that all the policies that you keep saying they are working, that he should use the election as a referendum on his policies? Yes. If they truly believe that all the narratives and propaganda they dish out on a daily basis to Nigerians, that all of them are true, use the election to test your popularity. Yes. If you are truly doing better than you claim, allow Nigerians to decide and answer and reply you, hey, yes, we are doing better. We are re-electing you to continue the good work. But we all know this is fantasy. It can never happen. Someone that found himself in power, instead of using that opportunity to prove to Nigerians that yes, he is truly that architect of modern Lagos, that he built Lagos, he tamed the Atlantic, he did this and did that, used that opportunity to prove to Nigerians, no, he started campaigning from day one. So no one will blame Peter Obi for bringing this kind of political gamesmanship at this time. Action begets reaction. Since they are attacking political parties, instigating crisis inside political parties so as to keep them busy, using lawfare and everything within their power to make sure all political parties are destabilized, then you have to introduce confusion. They can never attack all opposition parties. Even mushroom political parties that have never won any election, they can't just go out and start instigating crisis in all of them. So this way, they will be confused until the late hour. Maybe when it's time for presidential primaries, suddenly they will see, Peter Obi has emerged as a candidate of this political party, an unknown party, just like Labour Party in 2022. And despite that, under 9 months, he was able to garner millions of votes. Of course, they stole most of that votes. So the element of surprise is very nice. They will be busy too. Instead of campaigning and selling and marketing themselves to Nigerians, they will be busy looking at the opposition, trying to find which party they will work with, and at the end of the day, they will be swept away by surprise. Yusuf Datti Baba Ahmed is also a real political master strategist. He was very intentional in the interview with Abure. He made it clear that Labour Party won more than 10 million votes in 2023, and they were robbed of the votes and allocated a paltry 6.1 million votes. He also referred to Peter Obi as his boss. Why he did all this was to make it clear that he was not there on his own, that someone sent him. If someone came to a meeting and started referring to someone else as his boss, you must know that what it means is that his boss sent him on a message. And he's also sending a message to their adversaries. Listen, we are going to take this Labour Party. You can't take it away from us. Actually, Labour Party should be the biggest political party in Nigeria, simply because nearly every Nigerian belongs to Labour Party. By the mere fact that NLC owns Labour Party, imagine the millions of Nigerians that belong to many unions under the NLC. And when you look at their manifesto, especially where Peter Obi talked about hourly wage, Nigerians are suffering today because they simply don't earn enough. Forget about people gaslighting and telling you to work harder and making unnecessary references and comparisons. No. The same job you do here in Nigeria, the same job a Mason does in Nigeria, if another person does that job in, say, US or Canada or England, that person will use the salaries to buy a car, buy a home, live large, afford to go on holidays once in a year. But a Nigerian doing that job in Nigeria cannot even afford to pay rent. Not to talk of owning his own home, not to talk of buying a brand new vehicle, whether it's by hire purchase or not. He cannot afford the basic things of life despite doing the same job as his colleague in a Western country. So the problem here is not that the Nigerian worker is lazy or he doesn't work hard enough or that his work ethic is poor. No, it's simply the economy. Wages are too poor because of the economy. There is serious cheap labor in Nigeria. That's why many foreigners abuse Nigerian workers. You see Indian factory owners, Chinese factory owners in Nigeria paying Nigerians peanuts. Even on top of that, abusing them in the process. The government doesn't do anything. So you can see, if all these people belong to Labour Party, there is no one that can beat them, because on that election day, all of them will file out and say, these people, they want to introduce hourly wage. That means if it is 1,000 per hour or 5,000 per hour, it is better than 2,000 naira per day. Yes. If you know how many hours the person is going to work in a day, you have to pay to that person instead of the peanuts they pay today that can't even take anyone home. Also, the most important part of this political game Peter Obi and Datti Baba Ahmed are playing is how it affects the coalition party ADC. The coalition members will be saying, if Peter Obi truly believes in the coalition, if he truly professes to belong to the coalition, that he believes that the coalition is necessary to battle APC in 2027, why is he interested in solving the political crisis in Labour Party? They will be wondering, what is this man doing? Is he playing us? We don't want to lose him. Likewise, he wouldn't want to lose us. But we have to do something to bring him closer. We can't be watching him while he starts to rebuild Labour Party, because it might be a threat to the coalition. If they are able to solve the leadership crisis in Labour Party, maybe before middle of 2026, Labour Party will have bounced back in a stronger way, to the extent that it will now start challenging the coalition. to the extent that coalition members might be thinking about joining Labour Party. So if you look at it politically, you see that it is a master stroke. You might see people moving from, instead of saying, it will be an open primaries, they will now start talking about zoning. Because zoning is actually very important. Forget about all the narrative they are spreading, that only a northerner can battle Tinubu at this moment. No. Even the man they are referring to, Atiku Abubakar, could not win the northern region in 2023. Yes, he comes from the north, and every presidential candidate right from 1999, since the Fourth Republic, have always won his region. Starting from Obasanjo. Obasanjo won his region 2 times, in 1999, in 2003. Buhari won the northern region. It was only Tinubu that didn't win the southern region in 2023. Peter Obi won the southern region, and Atiku Abubakar could not deliver the northern region. As a matter of fact, he was on the ballot with a southerner, and the southerner won the northern region. While he was there, he could only win his geopolitical zone. Also, it will be in the interest of the CPC, who you might say are mostly tilting to ADC. Some are still in APC, by the way, but it will be in their interest to back a southern candidate at this time. This is simply because of the power dynamics. If they back someone like Atiku Abubakar, for instance, and he wins the election, that means Atiku Abubakar will be in power for the next 8 years. And before that power will return to the northwest, that will be in 16 years' time. So the choice is very clear for them, and politicians know themselves. They know who to trust. The person that tells you stop, and you know it means stop. Not someone who will tell you, I will do 4 years, and at the end of the day, he will do 8 years. On top of that, he will want to install the person that will take over from him. And considering that Peter Obi has already laid that offer, he has put that offer on the table that he will do only 1 term, it's left for them to trust him and back him. Remember, the CPC bloc have not joined in talking about zoning or not, whether it will go here or go there. So maybe when the time comes, they will play the political chess. But one thing seems clear, they are out for vengeance against Tinubu. They want to prove to him that they matter, that they can remove him from power, and they can no longer trust him, partly because he's very vindictive. Also, in the political calculation, they will have to deal with Ribadu. Yes, Tinubu might not be disposed to working with the CPC, even if they choose to support him in 2027. He might decide to go with Ribadu, someone he feels he might control, he might have some leverage over him when he leaves power in 2031. So these are the power dynamics they need to calculate in order to decide who they will support. Otherwise, they will be in the political wilderness for many years to come. Thanks for watching.